Little live IG. I know I haven't been able to post up the videos. My internet and phone reception in most parts of Vermont, where I was over the weekend, is pretty bad. Don't really get much reception on the phone. So I'm unable to post up videos and things like that, but it's a great disconnect. I love being disconnected from the internet and the computer. Even with my business being online, I just look at kids nowadays, my own kids included, faces buried into their phones. So I took my son with me up to Vermont, to Pittsfield, Vermont, and stayed at Joe DeSena's place. So this is the birthplace of Spartan Race. And we have the annual Spartan Wrestling Camp up there, which is a very unique camp. And then during that time is always the 60-hour Agoge Challenge, which is crazy. That's really what that is. So Saturday night, I'm going to share with you guys the lessons that I learned and the inspiration and actually like reminders of things that I experienced while I'm up in Pittsfield, Vermont. So number one, just going up there, it inspires you to work harder because you know you're going to be climbing mountains and staying up late and waking up early. You're essentially going to be doing Spartan type things, and it's tough, but it's so rewarding and it feels great. And it's a reminder to, on the daily, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And this was also the first time I got to take my son with me. I didn't want to take him up until around this age because it's very hard. And also I wanted him to disconnect from that phone. So we hiked mountains. He rode dirt bikes. He played outside day and night. He got a wrestling session in, which was outdoors under a big tent, under a big canopy, which was amazing. And Saturday night, I went with Joe to do some work and some filming for the Agoge race. And they were about within like 45, 50 hours into that challenge. And what started at 8 p.m. ended at 3:30 a.m. And I always laugh. I joked with Joe the whole time because it was supposed to be kind of like an in and out deal. Him and I get there, do what we had to do, and then hike back. And anytime he was asking about time, I said, we're good on time, man. We're 5 minutes in, but really we're 3 hours in, 4 hours in, 6, 7 hours in. And it was great because I'm able to change my frame of reference. The Agoge challengers, have maybe slept 15 minutes here and there, sometimes laying down, oftentimes standing up. They're cold, they're dehydrated, so, somebody had hypothermia. There was a lot of challenges, and the only thing I had was I was cold, and my feet, because I thought it was a quick one, I wore my sneakers. I didn't bring my, I have these military boots, so my feet were wet. I was actually wearing these awesome socks called Darn Tough socks, and man, they withstood the beatings. I was like stepping in mud where like I was literally wrestling my foot out of it. It felt like I was going into quicksand. But being uncomfortable when I go up to Vermont just reminds me how awesome you feel when you are not just going through those uncomfortable times, but 100 times better when you get out of that uncomfortable, that challenge, that tough time. And it's something I really want to teach the athletes at the Underground Strength Gym. It's been something that I'm always trying to do since since I've been training the athletes from the garage. But not everybody gets it because still, parents pull their kids out of the gym when football starts, when wrestling starts, when baseball starts. Very, very few of them continue in season, and even less. I'm talking, 1 or 2 kids out of the gym will continue with unlimited training during the season. And they are the Spartans. They are the ones that don't have the laundry list of excuses. And I have my own excuses too. And I always say, I hate my own excuses. They're invalid. There's nothing good, or there's nothing about my excuses that really hold up and make me feel good about any kind of excuse. And we've got to get back to this Spartan way of living. More discipline, more passion for life, more passion for success. being relentless, having grit and toughness and work ethic. A lot of people complain when they got to do more than the norm. In fact, I always say hard work is viewed as punishment. You know, athletes are running during football, practice in August, and then they, complain about the coach to administration and say he makes us run in the heat. That's right. Everywhere in the country in August is hot, so you will always run in the heat in August. So what are the takeaways here? Every day, do something that makes you better, as well as something that gets you just slightly uncomfortable. Joe DeSena says, just do 10 burpees. Just finish your shower with 30 seconds of cold water. I talk about waking up before the dogs want to get off the bed, putting that phone away, stepping up and being great instead of just being a clock puncher at work. So what does that mean? Look at this person, doesn't want to pull up to the line. It simply means don't worry about what's in your job description, and don't just stick to what's in your job description. Be great. When a young kid tells me, hey, I'm working at Walmart, I'm working at Target, I tell him, dude, that's awesome. You're working. You have a job. A lot of kids don't have work. They don't have a job. I go, but here's my challenge to you. You're an employee right now. Become a manager of that Target, of that Walmart. Then become the regional manager, then the East Coast manager. I challenge you to be greater at what you do. Okay? It's not just what we're doing, it's how we do it. So, being up in Vermont, man, people respect the outdoors up there. Everybody mountain biking, hiking. I saw people, who had their own farms, riding their tractors, doing work, getting the hands dirty. And I feel revitalized every time I come back from Vermont. Even just going there inspires me to train harder, knowing what's ahead. So sign yourself up for something that's going to be tough, that's going to challenge you. Get your hands dirty. Be great at your work, not just good. And do something every day that gets you uncomfortable in all facets of our life, not just health and fitness. True strength will always transcend the gym walls. That's it, guys. undergroundstrengthcoach.com. Talk to you later.